Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and we're going to start our 3-player playthrough of Spirit Island using the Branch and Claw expansion. Hope you guys are excited. Let's get going. Just like playing the base game, the first thing we need to do is determine where our invaders are going to explore. So they'll explore into the jungle. Then we can place this card here to let ourselves know next round they're going to build in the jungle. Here we have some of the jungles on the board. So what we're going to do is place these invaders on these locations. Now normally we would place an explorer here, but there's a wilds token here. What that means is it prevents the next exploration in that area, and then you remove the wild token. So it's helping us out a little bit actually, which is really nice. We'll still have to place an explorer here. Now you can see there are now 2 explorers here and a scenario token. Based on our scenario, we have to reveal this. Oh, good. It's blank. If that had a number on it, the invaders would already start gaining a benefit. They would have found some power of the island. But fortunately, that didn't happen. Unfortunately for Timothy over here, we're going to be placing lots of explorers. Look at this. He's got a lot of work to do. For me, I only have 1 jungle on mine, and there's a wild token. So we'll just remove the wilds token, and I essentially helped prevent them from being on the board. So see, I'm already working. Timothy isn't. After the invaders explore, we move to the spirit phase. The first part of the spirit phase is growth. So looking at my board, I have 4 options I get to choose 2. I'm going to choose the gain 1 power card. I'm going to gain a minor power. And then I'm going to place one of my presents out and gain 1 beautiful energy. I'm going to need lots of energy. Now, what's really crazy about this character, this spirit, is I can add presents to only lands with wilds or your presence. So I just lost some wilds in a location with my presence, but I can still place another presence there because I have 1 presence. So I'm going to grab this presence so that I can then gain a sun element each round, and we'll place this on the board. Since a few of my cards has to do with having a shrine, I'm going to place a second presence here, and now I have a shrine. Here are the 4 cards I get to choose from to add to my hand, and although this Reviving Rain looks pretty cool, I think I'm going to go with the Fire in the Sky because the elements work with my special abilities, and I get to add some Fear and Strife. Now we haven't talked about what Strife does. Strife blocks a specific invader's damage the next time that they do damage in a land or to dehaan. So it's a nice way to tank. And hey, I told you guys, I like being a tank, so yeah, I'm going to grab that card. We'll take these 3 and discard them.
For my turn with Sharp the Tiger, I'm going to choose the first growth action, gain 3 energy. Here we go. And then I'm going to add my presence in one of the jungles. So let's take this one. So I'm going to add my presence in that jungle. So now my presence, I can add it up to 3. So I'm good. And I can add it either in a jungle or a land with one of those beast tokens.
As the Thunder Speaker, I'm first going to do my growth action. I've decided to first add a presence and then gain 4 energy. So here's my 4 energy. And then I've decided I really want to play 2 cards, so I'm going to take my new presence from here. Since we're trying to defend in the jungles, I'm going to place my presence right here and hope that I can prevent them from ravaging that land.
That would be nice. Thanks, Mon. Now we move to the gain energy phase. Monica's the Thunder Speaker gains 1 energy. I gain 2 energy, and Timothy gains 1 energy. Now we move to the play and pay for power cards phase. I'm going to play my Towering Wrath card and pay all 3 energy that I have.
As for me, I'm going to play those 2 cards, a fast one and a slow one, for 2 energy total.
I am also going to play 2 slow cards. One costs 3 energy and the other one's a free one.
Now we move to the fast powers phase, and I happen to be the only one playing a fast power. Do you imagine that? A tiger playing a fast power? Make full thematic sense. So the card I'm going to play that is fast is called Prey on the Builders. So you can see him like the tiger like preying on the bulls. Pretty harsh actually, but that's awesome. So I will be able to gather 1 tiger, and if the target land has tigers, the invaders do not build there this turn. So let's do it. So I'm going to gather 1 beast from this land, so I can, it's a range 0, so this is the target land from which I'm gathering 1 beast. And the tiger's power is that when I'm gathering a beast, my presence can come with it. So that's how it's gonna look. And now they are not going to be able to build there since that was my power. As my second fast actions, I am going to use one of my cool innate powers because it's fast also. I can use it because I have 2 animal elements. So first of all, I'm going to gather 1 beast from an adjacent land. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to target this land and I'm going to gather from it 1 beast and 1 presence. So my beast went from north to south. Kind of cool.
Now we move to the event phase. So this is new for the expansion. The expansion adds these events which add random positive and negative events that happen. It's really cool. So for our first one, we have cultural assimilation. The first thing you want to do when looking at this, you can see there's lots of text. You're going to look up here and see, well, what terror level are we at? We're at terror level 1, so we'll read and do the culture assimilation, not this reprisal against the dehaan. So on each board in a land with exactly 1 dehaan that has or is adjacent to a city, replace 1 dehaan with 1 town. So to start off with, this isn't very good, okay? Just so you guys know. Because we're going to look here, this is Timothy's land, and we have 1 dehaan here that's adjacent to a city. We have to remove that dehaan and place a town. We're going to have to do the same thing on Monica's land here, remove this dehaan and place a town. Fortunately for my land, there is only 2 cities in it, and there are no single dehaans in any land, so we're okay. Now we look to the beast attack. So each beast deals 2 damage, remove any token that destroys a city or a town. All of our beasts are over here with Timothy. This one is going to destroy this town and then be removed from the game, and we have now generated 1 fear. Then this beast will take out this explorer, and that beast will stay there. And this beast, there's nothing here to attack. I almost forgot, we do have a beast token up here, but once again, there's no invaders there, so nothing happens. Then we have the reckless offense. So on each board, choose a land with at least 2 dehaan and at least 2 cities or / towns. Each dehaan destroys 1 city or town, but then you add 1 blight. Well, the only land that's affected by this is 1 on my board, and we have 3 dehaan here and 1 city and 1 town. So all of these dehaan are going to take out both of these, which is awesome. That's going to generate 3 fear for us. But the negative is we're going to have to place some blight. We'll place the blight here, but there's already blight in this land, so we have what's called the blight outbreak. We now have to place a blight in an adjacent land. So we'll place 1 here. And we've already placed 2 blights out of the 6 we have on our healthy island card. If we ever get rid of all 6 of those blight and put them on the board, then we flip that over to being a blighted island. That's not a good thing. Now we're going to move to the invaders phase. First thing that we do is we look to see, are they going to ravage anywhere? No. Are they going to build? Yes. They're going to build in the jungle, and then they're going to explore into the sands. For building in this location, they won't do anything thanks to what Timothy did here. For this location, they're going to build a city because there's already a town there. There are no invaders here thanks to this beast token. Over here in the jungle with me, they're going to build a town. And then up top here, they'll build a city here and a city here. Oh man, this is looking bad. Then they're going to explore in all of these sand locations. So we would place 1 here again, but there's a wild token, so we'll remove that. But we are going to place another invader here, and there are 2 here. Oh my gosh, just another blank. Great. Okay, and then they'll explore here in the sands, and they'll explore here in the sands, which is really bad. I'm going to need to take care of that. And we'll have 2 more explorers over here. So this is sand, and this is sand. Now we're going to move to the slow action phase. So we get to play our slow power cards. I'm going to start with Towering Wrath. Look at that picture. I'm going to generate 2 fear, and then I can do 2 damage per one of my shrines in or adjacent to target land, and then destroy all of the dehaan. Yeah, see, I don't really care if it's dehaan or it's invaders. I just destroy everything. I'm going to destroy this town right here in my land, and that will generate 1 fear. Next, I'm going to use my Spreading Wilds special innate power. So if I have 2 suns, which I have 1 from the Towering Wrath and 1 from my presence track, I can push 1 of the invaders from a target land per 2 suns that I have. And I do have 1 plant. If the target land has no explorer in it after I've pushed them, I can add 1 wild. Definitely doing that, just spreading my wildness. I have to do this within range 1 of my presence, and it has to be in a location without blight. So I'm going to do this sans. So I'm going to push him out into the wetlands, and then I'll place this awesome, cool looking wilds token there to prevent any sort of building or exploring there in the future.
As my slow power, I'm going to do terrifying chase. So I get to push 2 invaders, so whether explorers, towns, or even dehaan actually, and push another 2 per beast that I would have in target land. If I push invaders, I get 2 fear. The land I'm going to target is this one. And I'm going to push this town and this explorer. So initially I thought of pushing the second town that was there. Well, things change in Spirit Island. That's pretty much the game. That's why we love it. So I'm going to push it here in the wetland.
First, I'm going to use my Voice of Thunder to push 3 dehaan, there's only 3 there, into my jungle land. Then I can use the manifestation of power and glory to 1, generate some fear, and then each dehaan there, the 3 that I just pushed, will deal damage equal to the number of presence in my target land, which I'll have 1 there. So they'll each do 1 point of damage. So I start by pushing dehaan. And so I push these 3 dehaan into this jungle land. And I forgot before, but my personal ability for the Thunder Speaker is that I can move my presence with my dehaan. So I move this presence into this land as well. Now I can deal damage equal to the number of presence in my target land, which happens to be 2. So I do 2 points of damage for each dehaan, or a total of 6 points of damage, taking out everything in that jungle land.
Awesome! That's going to generate 3 fear.
And my card also generated 1 fear.
Thanks to Monica, we're going to gain our first fear card. That was turn 1 of Spirit Island. We have generated a total of 13 fear. Yeah, that's 13 fear in 1 round. That's pretty good. I actually have never done that myself. So we have 1 fear card that we've already earned, but we do already have 2 more blight out on the board, which could be problematic. So let's see what we're going to do for round 2. For this run, I'm going to do the same growth options I did last time. I'm going to do this one, gain 1 energy, and be able to place presence out on the board at a range of up to 3. I'm going to grab from the card plays, though, so I can start doing some of my innate powers, do some combos. And then I'm going to gain 1 power card. I'm still going to go for a minor card for now. I have to place this in a location that has wilds or a location that I already have my presence, so I'm going to go into the sands right here. Looking at these 4 cards, I really like this Enticing Splendor. First of all, it lets me do some gathering, but second of all, it's got sun and plant elements, both which I use in my innate powers. So I'm going to grab this, put this in my hand, and discard these 3.
For my growth actions, I'm going to reclaim my cards, so I have to pay 1 to do so. And then I will place some presence, and I will take this one to gain some plant, because I will need it. I'm going to place my presence here in this jungle with those 2 invaders, and then I'm going to use one of my special ability, Call Forth Predators. And I'm going to kill this presence. It's out of the game. I cannot retrieve it by any way. And transform it into a beast. And it will serve us later in the game. Here are the 4 cards I got, and I think you guys really see it clearly. Guardian Serpents with the animal symbol, the animal element. It permits me to add 1 beast in one of target spirit's lands. If target spirit has a shrine in that land, defend for there. I'm definitely going to take this one.
For my growth action, I'm also going to do the same action that I did last time. I am going to add 1 presence and gain 4 energy. So I'm going to take this presence and add it to the board. That way I gain an air as well, which will help me with my innate powers. And I get my 4 money. I'm going to place my presence in this sand area here.
We then move to the gain energy phase. I'll gain 2 energy, and the other 2 slowpokes will only gain 1. Next, we move into playing and paying for our cards. So I'm going to play the Sacrosanct Wildness and the Boon of Growing Power. And I'm paying all 3 of my energy. So I'm still not banking any energy, but I'm hoping that will change soon.
So I'm going to play those 2 cards, one fast and one slow. With this one, I hope to be able to prevent someone from building in the sand. And with this one, I hope to be preparing for next turn.
I am also going to play 2 cards this turn. With this one, I'm going to gather a dehaan into the sand area and take out that explorer. And the other one here I'm going to use to defend in the jungle, where Colin's going to help me out by pushing a dehaan into the land for me.
Teamwork, teamwork. Now we move to the fast action phase. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to play my Sacrosanct Wildness. I'm going to push 1 dehaan, and I can't do any of this. Instead, what I'm going to do is add 1 wildness to that location. I'm going to push this dehaan here that's in the wetlands over into the jungle and place the wildness right here.
For my sudden ambush, I gather 1 dehaan into this land, and each dehaan destroys 1 explorer, so it takes out this person here.
Nice.
With the words of warning, I defend 3 in this land. Additionally, during the ravage, each dehaan in that land will deal damage simultaneously with the invaders. So this dehaan can take out the town.
So I have 2 fast actions for sharp. First of all, I'm going to use my prey on the boulders. And I was wrong. I thought I could prevent this one from building, but I ended up putting my presence there. And the prey on the boulders is only range 0, so I would need to gather from there. So I cannot gather them there. Bummer. So I'm going to gather instead this beast here, and maybe I can do some damages by pushing them there next turn, who knows. As a second fast action, I'm going to use my innate powers. So my innate powers has to be used in the following way. First gathering, then damaging, 1 per beast, and then pushing. So let's do them in order. I'm going to first gather a beast here, then I'm going to damage. I needed 2 plants, which I have, and 3 animal element. And then I'm going to push up to 2 beasts from this land to this one. And I will end my fast actions.
Now we're going to move to the event phase. Ooh, this part's always fun. You never know what's going to happen. We have rising interest in the island. Your island is unlike any the invaders have seen. Their leaders begin to take interest in tales of strangeness. You may ignore the curiosity, return the top card of the invader deck to the box, skip cards specifically placed during setup. On each board, add 1 town to a land without one. Or we can weave lies in the minds of their observers. Return the top fear card to the box. During the next normal ravage, each city or town does +1 damage. Ooh, costs 4 energy per player, aided by air. So this cost is something new. What this means, first of all, 4 energy per player, we would have to pay energy, so up to 12 energy to be able to choose this second choice. However, it is also aided by the air element. What that means is, for example, Monica has 2 cards out on the table already that have an air icon. So we already have 2 air. So it's like we've already paid 2 for this cost. Monica also has 1 air on her player board. So that's another cost or an amount of air that she's paid. So we're already at 3. We can then pay any of our stored energy to get ourselves up to 12. Or we could forget 1 or more power cards with that element on the card to give us +4 energy towards the cost. We also could simply just discard the power card with that element, and it would give us +2 energy. Unfortunately, with all of that, there's just no way we can even pay the total 12 here, so we're going to have to choose option 1. So we're going to have to return the top card of the invader deck to the box. That means we are going to lose this wetlands card. If you think about it, we've just lost a round in the game because we're now sooner going to get to the level 2 cards. Then what we're going to have to do is on each board, add a town to a land without one. We're going to place the town here on Timothy's board here because we're already going to gain a blight here. This doesn't equate up to 6, so we're not going to have to worry about 2 blight here. And we're not going to be able to take out the city anyways. And we don't want to put a city over here because then they're going to start being able to explore from here. And we don't want that. I'm going to place the town here on my board. And then on Monica's board, we're going to place one right here. We now do the beasts of the jungle. On each board, add 1 beast to a jungle without blight, 1 fear if the invaders are present. Sweet. And we have traps and snares. On each board, add 1 wild to a land with a dehaan. We placed out the beasts, 1 here, and 1 here. And the wild tokens, 1 here, and 1 there. Whew. Alright, now we're going to move to revealing our first fear card. We're going to reveal this fear card and we read the top. Avoid the dehaan. Invaders do not explore into lands with at least 2 dehaan. Oh, okay, cool. Moving to the invaders phase, we're going to start with the ravage. We'll start over here. In this jungle, they only do 1 point of damage, so no blight. Great. Unfortunately over here, 3 plus 2 is 5. They take out both dehaan and place a single blight. Fortunately, nobody's spirit was there, so we're okay. This land, we're fine. Over here, they do 1 point of damage. That's not enough to place blight on the land. Up here, what happens is this dehaan simultaneously attacks the invaders. So this town is taken out, but so is the invader. So is the dehaan. And they do 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 6 minus Monica's defense of 3, which is 3. So unfortunately, we are going to have to place blight. And that means Monica's going to have to lose 1 presence due to her special ability. We also, though, at least gain 1 fear because we took out that town. Over here, nothing happens in the jungle. Now we move to the build phase into the sands. So we'll start over here. Since there's already a city here, they build a town. In this location, nothing. Okay? In this location, they already have a town or a city. No, that's a town. So now they're going to build a city. Over here, because they have an explorer, they build a town, and we immediately reveal this token. Oh, okay, we're getting lucky. That was blank. Over here, they don't have anything, so we're okay. Up here, Monica cleared that out, thank goodness. But up top, we are going to have another town. Now we're going to move to the explore phase. So we're going to flip this over. Yeah, and we're already at level 2 invader cards because we had to remove that one. That was terrible. So we are now going to explore in the wetlands, and this icon means that we have to activate the special ability of the Swedes. The Swedish Stage 2 escalation says that after invaders explore into each land this phase, if that land has at least as many invaders as dehaan, they're going to convert that dehaan to a town. Oh, man, we are just not catching any breaks. Looking at the wetlands, normally they would explore in this location, but there's the 2 dehaan and we have that fear card, so we don't have to place anybody else there. We would normally have to place someone here, once again 2 dehaan. We have 3 dehaan here, so no exploration here. They will explore in this one. Actually, no, they won't. There's 2 dehaan there, so they won't explore in that land either. Wow, that is really nice. Same thing with down here. There's 3 dehaan. So actually, that fear card was really, really helpful. They will, though, explore up here in this wetland. And there's a wetland up here, but they're not adjacent to it. So there's no way for them to get into it, so we are fine. However, we now look, and there are 2 invaders here and 2 dehaan. We're going to take one of these dehaan off and place a town. Oh! And look here. There are 3 here and 3 here. They convert one of these dehaan into another invader. Oh my gosh, this is not good. I'm sorry, you guys, I missed 1 land. They should have explored here, and we have to reveal this tile. Once again, it's blank, which is awesome. I mean, there are more blanks than numbered ones, but we are getting lucky. We are not doing well. Now we're going to move to the slow action phase. I'm going to start off with my Boon of Growing Power. Target spirit gains a power card. So what I'm going to do is allow Timothy to do that. He's going to grab 4 minor power cards, and we'll see what he picks. If you target another spirit, they also gain 1 energy. So here you go, Timothy. Here's 1 for you.
Thank you.
I can now activate my Spreading Wilds because I do have 2 sun. I also have 1 plant. So because of that, I can do both of these actions. I'm going to push 1 explorer, and then if that area has no explorer, I can add a wilderness token or wild token. This has to be within range 1 of my presence. So I'm going to go here, push this invader over to the mountains, and then that allows me to place 1 of the wild tokens. And this is great because it'll prevent exploration there. Nice.
First of all, I received 4 cards thanks to Colin. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I happen to have the Prowling Panthers. So like you guys can see, all the elements are right. And let me add Beast. So that's a no-brainer. So remember, my slow power card was permitting me to add one Beast to a land. So from a jungle, range 1, I can add my Beast here. It also permits me to gain 1 fear.
Heck yeah. We only made 3 this round so far. Well, that was a rough round. We only have 2 blight on our card before we flip to a blighted island, and there are a lot of invaders on this board. But you can see we're kind of protecting this middle area pretty well. I do feel kind of bad for Timothy. He's got all the land that they've been doing stuff on. I hardly have anything. And that just happens to be with the cards that have shown up. So we're going to do one more round for this video and call it a night. Let's do it. This round, you guys, I want to gain a bunch of energy because I want to start getting some major power cards and becoming a player. Because so far, I feel like I've been a slow tree growing. So what I'm going to do is these 2 actions. I'm going to reclaim all of my discarded cards. They'll go back into my hand. I'm going to place presents, and I'm going to place this present so I gain 4 energy during the energy gaining phase. So here's that 4. And I'll gain 2 energy from both of these, so I have a total of 6 energy. I'm going to place my presents over here with Timothy because my goal is to help him out with this.
My 2 actions for the growth phase are going to be added presence. So I'm going to take this one so I can gain 2 energy per turn. That's going to be nice. And then I'm going to take this action to gain 1 energy right away and gain a power card. Because I'm not really satisfied with my power cards right now, and I won't be able to deal with the 2 big cities on the sand area, so I'm hoping to get something good. I'm going to go for minor power cards because my spirit doesn't produce a lot of energy. Here are the 4 minor power cards I got. I'm very lucky because Drift Down into Slumber will deal with one of the land I could not have dealt with before. So, bit of luck. It's not a good card, but for now it's going to save us a big deal. I'm taking it. Finally, I'm going to add my presence and form a shrine here.
Since I have no cards left, I am going to choose the growth action that lets me reclaim my cards. So I'm going to reclaim my cards, and then I get to gain 2 new power cards, both of which I'm going to choose to be minor powers at this time. Looking at these 4, I am going to choose Nature's Resilience, mostly because it allows me to defend 6, which I plan on using right away. So from these 4, I'm going to choose this one. From the second set of 4 cards, I'm going to choose Elemental Boon. This allows me to target another spirit and give them 3 different elements, and I get those as well, as long as I'm not targeting myself.
We move to energy gaining. I'm going to gain 4, Timothy 2, and Monica 1. I'm only going to use 1 energy, so that means I'm going to keep 5 energy for next round, aka getting a good power card, getting some major powers here, okay? But this time what I'm going to do is just get rid of some blight, because we really don't want a blighted island, and I'm going to do some gathering so that we can prevent one of the ravages in the sands.
So I'm going to play those 2 fast cards, the one I acquired this turn, and this one. With this one, I hope to be able to wipe out 1 sand land, and with this one, I hope to be able to defend the other one.
I also have 2 fast actions that I'm going to take this turn. I'm going to create some elements for myself and for Timothy, and I am also going to use Words of Warning to put up some defense in one of the sand areas.
While the other 2 spirits are working in cahoots, I'm going to do something on my own, because hey, I'm a tree. So what I'm going to do is gather 1, either explorer or town. I'm going to do a town. I'm going to take this town out of this sands so they do not ravage here. Move it into the jungle.
With my elemental boon, I'm going to create 3 elements for Timothy. They're going to be air, sun, and animal. And then with the Words of Warning, I'm going to place some defense into a sands area to reduce the amount of blight we have to play. I'm going to place my defense marker here. I'm going to defend for 3 in that land, which means that there's only going to be 3 attack on the land, resulting in 1 blight instead of 2.
As my 2 actions, I'm going to first defend for 4 this sand area, hoping to limit the damages there. And then I actually forgot, but I wanted to convert one of my presents for 1 beast. Remember, that's a special I can do. So this special, you can only do it during your spirits phase. Or in the fast power phase, just right after it, it doesn't matter right now. So I'm going to put it just here. And then I'm going to use the Guardian Serpents, my other fast action, to add one more animal to this land. Finally, I'm going to use my innate power to gather one animal. Why don't I take the presents too? No, maybe not. And I'm going to do the damages. So I do 1 damage per animal, which means I take the city and the town out. It creates free fear. Then, as the last part of my innate power, I can push up to 2 animals with presence if I want to an adjacent land, and I'm going to push 2 animals here. And not take my presence with me. So why am I doing this? I'm hoping that maybe one of those events cards are going to be the animals going mad or something like this. It's in the rulebook that 50% of the events card concern animals. So let's cross fingers for no blight and those animals going crazy.
Now let's move to the event phase. Okay, so you see how there's a stage 1 and a stage 2 and 3? We need to look at the invader cards and see what stage we're in. We're in stage 2, so let's read fortification. After advancing invader cards, invaders build in one terrain not shown under any invader action. If there's no such terrain, nothing happens. There's going to be a terrain. There would be no such terrain potentially if we were in stage 3 cards. Yeah, but that will happen after the invaders go, so we'll just hold on to that for right now. Beasts attack. Oh, Timothy was right. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys a city or a town. And then lastly, coming of age. On each board, add 1 dehaan to a hills or sands with a dehaan. We'll start over here. These 2 beasts, this one does 2 damage. It's going to hit this city for 2, but it doesn't destroy a city, so it's not removed. This one will do 2 damage, take out this city, but then this beast token is removed. These beast ones will just take out an invader or an explorer. They don't get removed. This one over here will take out this town, and we will lose 1 beast. And I should say, so far, we have generated 3 fear. This beast over here will take out this explorer, and this beast here will do 2 points of damage to this city. The beast all the way up here, there's nothing to attack, so nothing will happen there. So you guys, we're not sure what hills stands for. There are no hills, so I think we're going to assume that's the mountains. So we're going to place 1 dehaan here in the mountains. Monica wanted 1 here on her board, and Timothy's thinking of placing 1 here because he's still defending, and this way we can take out this town, which will be awesome! Moving to the invaders, they're going to ravage the sands, then build in the wetlands, and then explore. Oh, seriously? The sands again. Ow! First doing the ravaging, nothing here. They're going to ravage here for 3. Timothy, you're defending for 3? Is that right?
For 4.
For 4. Oh, yeah. So they don't do anything, and this dehaan gets pissed and takes out the town. That generates 1 fear. Then here they do 1 point of damage. Nothing happens. Over here, nothing happens in my land. Up here, nothing happens. And over here, Monica is defending for 3. So unfortunately, they still do 3 points of damage to the land. And we place our second to last blight. Oh. Now we move to building. And we're going to build in the wetlands. So here we have 2 towns. So they're definitely going to build a city. Over here, nothing. In this land, nothing. In this land, unfortunately, because there's 2 towns. Well, I have a lot of work to do over here. We're building another city. They're getting a stronghold. Those Swedes! Over here, now there's this disease. Disease prevents the next build and then is removed. So we simply remove that token and we don't build there. I love that. This is the wetlands. They will build there. This prevented exploration, not building. So we'll place that there. And then the wetlands way up here, nothing happens. Now we look to see in the wetlands, if there's more invaders than dehaan, they convert 1. Yeah, you can bet that's happening here. So we also lose another dehaan and we place another town. I am really going to have some work to do over there. That is a terrible land. And same thing over here. They're going to convert this dehaan into another town. Lastly, we're now going to do the exploration into the sands. Here's the thing. When we start over here, they still get to explore here because they're adjacent to the water. So even though there's no foothold of a town near there or a city, they still come into these 2 lands just because they're adjacent to the water. And then they will still explore here as well because there is a town in this location. They'll also explore over here. They would try and explore in my land, but the wild prevents it. And then over here in Monica's land, they will explore there. And let's not forget, they'll explore up here. Now what we have to do is pick a land that's not on the board and have them build. And we decided to do the mountains. So what we'll do is we'll look at the mountains here. They're going to build a city here. They're not going to build here, not going to build here. They'll build a town here. They'll build a city here, and nothing will be built in this land. I am now going to play my regrow from roots. If there are 2 or fewer in the target land of blight, remove 1 blight. I'm also going to use my spreading wilds, as I do have 2 of the suns, 1 from here and 1 from my board itself. And then I actually have 2 plants, but that's not useful yet. I need 3 to get to here, so I just have 1 plant. As long as I can make sure that whatever land I'm targeting has no invaders and no explorers, then I can add a wild. I'm going to remove the 1 blight right here, putting that back on our healthy island card, thank goodness. And then I'm going to target this land right here, push this invader out into this land, because yeah, he's just going to die next round. And then I can place a wild, because look at that, there's no explorers here. Yeah, there's lots of cities and towns, but no explorers.
During this slow phase, I'm going to use one of my innate powers. I have an animal on one of my cards, so I'm using this action. It allows me to gather up to one dehaan per air. I have 3 air, and push up to 1 dehaan per sun. I have 2 sun. I am going to target this land here. It is 1 away from my presence, which is the requirement. I can go up to 1 away from my presence. And I'm going to gather with my air 3 dehaan. 1, 2, 3. That reveals this token.
You found a 5, Monica. That's awesome. We'll have to look at what that is. We'll see.
Before we look at those, I'm going to finish my action because I get to reveal another one. So now with my 2 sun, I can push to 2 dehaan. So I'm going to push this one back into here and this one as well, which reveals this token.
You're revealing 2? You found a number 7? Awesome! So we just found, you guys, 2 powers of the island, 7 and 5. If the invaders had found these first, they would have gotten different abilities. Let's see what Monica found. Looking at number 5, we go across to the spirit benefit, and it says, spirits do not need to forget when gaining a major power. Whoa, that's really cool. So normally when we gain major powers, we'd have to lose other ones. Don't have to do that anymore. Number 7, now earn 2 fear cards. Invaders in 1 land take 2 damage per dehaan there. Ooh. Earning 2 fear cards is awesome because that pushes us to terror level 2. So now all we have to do is eliminate all the towns and all of the cities to win the game. Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. But hey, it still feels good. And we're almost ready to generate a 3rd one. We only have 2 fear left in this pool. Looking at the board, we decided, a lot of our dehaan have been converted to towns and cities, so we don't have a lot of dehaan in areas with invaders. So we're going to pick this land. It doesn't generate any more fear, but it helps Timothy with all of this sand right over here because they're going to be building. So now they won't build in this land. That helps them a lot. Well, that will end round 3. Can you guys believe we've only done 3 rounds? For us, it's been about 6 hours. No, I'm actually not even really exaggerating that much. It is insane the amount of things that are going on with all of this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Just so you know, this video series is going to come out a little bit slower than normal, and that's just because we have to coordinate 3 schedules. So we probably won't have the next video for Spirit Island for probably another week at least, but I'm going to still keep doing my other playthroughs of Aventuria. I've got Star Trek Frontiers coming out, so we're going to do other things. Just know that this will come in time. But yes, lots of time, because it is hard. It's probably going to take me 2 days to edit this. So hope you guys enjoy it, though. It is wonderful. We're having a blast. Hope you guys are having a blast. Thank you for joining us for the first part of Spirit Island and for watching the One Stop Co-op Shop. We will see you at the next stop.